dignitaries on the dais, ambassadors, all friends, my brothers and sisters, आप सबको मेरा नमस्कार. Good evening to everybody. I thank you all for being here today for this very unique exhibition. और सबसे पहले हम सबकी ओर से मैं आभार प्रकट करना चाहूँगा उन कलाकारों की जिन्होंने जिनका कला का प्रदर्शन आज हो रहा है. आज के कार्यक्रम में आपकी उपस्थिति केवल आपकी योगदान ही नहीं बल्कि हमारे राष्ट्र की धरोहर, राष्ट्र की विरासत और पर्यावरण में आपकी बहुमूल्य भागीदारी का संदेश है. सदियों से पर्यावरण की रक्षा और संरक्षण को आप लोगों ने अपनी जीवन शैली का एक अभिन्न अंग बनाकर संजोया है. यही कारण है कि मोदी सरकार आपकी प्रगति एवं कल्याण के लिए प्रतिबद्ध है. प्रकृति के प्रति आपकी सद्भाव एवं लोकाचार आज कला के माध्यम से हम सबके सामने प्रस्तुत हो रहा है. इसकी प्रशंसा जितनी भी हो वो कम ही है. तो फ्रेंड्स, I today express my deep appreciation to the National Tiger Conservation Authority and the Sankala Foundation for organizing this unique art exhibition, Silent Conversation from Margins to the Center. And I'm very happy to note that the National Human Rights Commission and the International Big Cat Alliance have extended their support for this initiative. Through this art, we witness not just creativity, but a very profound message, one that bridges the gap between nature and humanity. As my colleague Bhupender Yadav ji said, from tigers to tribals. A reflection of commitment and resolve to prevent environmental degradation, this exhibition showcases that people can exist, do exist with nature in complete harmony. It weaves the story of how over millennia tribal communities have forged enduring bonds with various elements of nature. The concept of Antodaya, that is upliftment of the last person of society, that is leaving no one behind. This is not just a policy, it is the sole and guiding principle of our government. We are committed to ensuring Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Prayas, Sabka Vishwas, with particular focus on uplifting marginalized community, especially our tribal population. Through targeted policies like the Pradhan Mantri Van Bandhu Kalyan Yojana and the Ekalavya model residential schools, we are creating opportunities, bolstering education and creating sustainable livelihoods for our tribal youth. The aspirational districts and blocks program launched by the government has been instrumental in improving ease of living for tribal communities who reside in these areas. And I should add, as a member of parliament from Gujarat, my own MP Lads district to which I have committed my support is actually a predominantly tribal district, Narmada. तो मैं ये कह रहा था कि जो जिला जहाँ संसद सदस्य होने के नाते मेरा ज़्यादा समय भी जाता है और जहाँ हम लोग जो MP लैड्स के कार्यक्रम जो करते हैं वहाँ वो आकांक्षित ज़िला है गुजरात में. वहाँ टाइगर रिजर्व तो नहीं है पर मैं ज़रूर कहूँगा कि इन मैनी वेज इट हैज़ बीन एक मॉडल आकांक्षित ज़िला है. वहाँ बहुत प्रगति हुई है पिछले दशक में. और ये आज जब भरतलाल जी का निमंत्रण आया तो मुझे लगा someone who's been so closely associated with that district, this is a cause for which I could not say no. Now I also want to say that India's development journey is very deeply intertwined with environmental conservation. Prime Minister Modi constantly emphasizes that conservation is not a barrier to development. On the contrary, it is an enabler. Under his leadership, we have achieved remarkable progress in environmental conservation and tiger protection, and you heard about it in the speakers before me. We are now home to 55 tiger reserves, which protects 75% of the world's total population across 75,000 square kilometers. And this, again, this initiative, whose first magazine we released today, the International Big Cat Alliance, I think I count it among the more innovative and interesting initiatives of Indian diplomacy, actually, that we were also able to reach out to many countries who had very similar commitment to safeguarding and strengthening biodiversity. And we are really pleased today to see how much of a difference it can make for conservation of tigers and big cats. I also want to mention the passage of the Wildlife Protection Amendment Bill 2021, which ensures stronger protection for endangered species and sustainable trade practices, which balances environmental needs with development. In India, and you can see that in the art, I was able to take a tour of the exhibition, that the graphical representations of tigers is actually very much a part of our heritage. It has been found in really rock art in Madhya Pradesh, which I believe goes back to thousands of years. And many communities, like the Bhariyas living in Central Asia or Warlis living in Maharashtra, they worship the tiger. And that art form also, I think, has been very well depicted in the exhibition outside. Let me say a few words, add a few words about Project Tiger, because it has completed 50 years. And I really say this, it has been, this is not an exaggeration, it has been a shining example of success. And but we have to understand why. We have to understand why, and that why is because the tribal communities who have been the unsung heroes, they deserve immense credit for this achievement. And their guardianship of the forest, their protection of the wildlife, the connection which they make with the tiger, with nature, as embodying the spirit of sustainability. So whether it is fighting poachers or planting trees, I think today, honestly, there is a lot that we can learn today from our tribal brothers and sisters. India, I should also emphasize, we are very active today in the shaping the debates and outcomes of global climate, environment and lifestyle agendas. We spoke about the Big Cat Alliance, but I would equally mention the International Solar Alliance, the Global Biofuels Alliance, or Mission Life, or cultivation of millets or practice of yoga. I think these are today really what have become, in a way, defining contributions of India in the international stage. But if I can come back to wildlife, again, we spoke about Project Tiger, I mentioned Project Cheetah, the world's first intercontinental large carnivore translocation initiative. I think it's also important to appreciate Namami Gange, the PM Kusum scheme, the Govardhan initiative, because all of them together really demonstrate how much actually Prime Minister himself and his government, how seriously they have taken the environmental stewardship of this country, and done that in a manner in which actually it has promoted economic growth as well. And they reflect the larger principles of Panchamrit, which Prime Minister has spoken about, to promote climate resilience and sustainability. So as we reflect on all these issues, I think it's particularly today for all of us very fortunate occasion to understand through this art depiction the emotional connection formed between the tribal community and the land that they inhabit and the nature that coexists with them. And this exhibition, I think, gives us a very unique opportunity to see this relationship. And surely the efforts which we will see in terms of wildlife protection, tree plantation, conservation, it should inspire all of us. So I want to say this, that these paintings, I mean, obviously they are really very, very vivid expressions of art, but there is something more in them, that beyond art, in a way, they are an expression of a certain deep connection with Mother Earth, that when we say in our Vedas, in the Atharva Veda, that the earth is our mother and we are our children, it is that feeling which really comes through in this art. So I want today to share with all of you this thought that, you know, any policy works best when it is absorbed by all citizens, when it's not something that government up there somewhere is doing, that it is part of everybody's life. That is why we call it Jan Bhagidari. And whether it is using energy efficient solutions, whether it is reducing plastic waste, or whether it is supporting tribal art and promoting ecotourism, every step in that direction counts. So friends, let me conclude by saying this: we are approaching Deepavali, and I urge you all to give this time an extra meaning to this festive season by supporting the tribal artists whose works we see today. I certainly, looking at it, as a foreign minister, we travel a lot. It's a diplomatic practice to give gifts. Already in the last 10 years, we have diversified. What is the heritage, the showcasing of India abroad. But definitely today I saw many pieces of art which would be a source of pride for me to present as I go out and represent the country, and I will leave some of it for the rest of you, but सचमुच हम लोगों के लिए बहुत गर्व का विषय होगा कि जो आपकी कला जो है, जो मुझे देखने का सौभाग्य मिला, जब विदेश मंत्री होने के नाते जब देश के बाहर जाते हैं और के कुछ तोहफा देने का मौका होता है, तो हमारे लिए बहुत गर्व का विषय होगा कि आपकी कला जो है हम देश के बाहर भी ले जाएं. तो टू ऑल ऑफ यू रियली big thank you, and I want to say that by supporting these artists, there is a statement, a personal statement that each one of you will be making. I urge you, I encourage you to make this statement. And once again, I thank the organizers today that they have invited me to be part of an event whose message is how do we strengthen our conservation ethos. And that conservation ethos, as I said, has to be done by all of us. Your presence here is also an indication of your commitment. So I thank you all for coming. Once again, a very good evening to you. My namaskar.